I am not an LGBT activist. I don't qualify. Neither do I identify myself as an advocate because I'm afraid I may not be able to live up to the expectations of the label. I'm a proud gay man, and I'm one with my community in our fight against oppression, bigotry, discrimination, and for equality. Yes, my name is Boy Abunda, and I was born and raised in a small town called Borongan in eastern Samar. It's now a small city. It's still beautiful. I had a happy childhood, not perfect, but a wonderful childhood. As a child, as a young boy, I was told many things. I was told to be a good boy, and I was. I was also told to love nanay and tatay. I was told to love my country, the Philippines. I was also told to love and honor God above all. Ginawa ko po yan. I did all those. As a young boy, I was also told to play basketball. I tried. I tried with all the bones in my body, but I just didn't have the rhythm, I didn't have the timing, the alacrity of basketball players. I was a failure. As a young boy, I was also told to like a young normal girl, because young normal boys played basketball and liked young normal girls. Again, with bravery, with a lot of prayers, I tried to like a young normal girl. Again, I was a failure. There was a street in my town called Royal Street. From where I lived, you had to go through this street to be able to go to church, to the town plaza, to the public market. There was another way, but it was a longer route, and there were more stray dogs, and it was darker. So we had to go through Royal Street. It was horrifying. It's terrifying to walk through Royal Street because young normal boys would bully us. They were mean. They were wretched. They were obnoxious. They would call us names. We would fight back. I would fight back once in a while, but we would always be outnumbered. They would call us names, shout at us. They would holler, bayot, bayot, bayot. That's the Waray word for bakla. And Royal Street broke me in a way that I became so defensive about my posture. I became very defensive about my sexuality. In my youth, Royal Street was equivalent to hell. As a young boy, I started to ask so many questions. Some I have answered, others I'm still trying to figure out. Now, I have another question. Why can't we have a gay president? Why can't we have a gay president? I wanted to test this question, so I spoke to some friends, acquaintances, strangers, teachers, students, because I wanted to see how people react to a provocative question like, why can't we have a gay president? Somebody told me, boy, I have so much respect for you. I love gays. You're just so funny. I can't imagine a world without gays. You're just the best comedians in the world. And you excel in the creative endeavors. You're the best hairstylists. You're the best eyebrow stylists. You're the best fashion designers. I said, excuse me? We can be many and we can do anything. I told her the story about Alan Turing, father of computer science. He was the lead scientist that decoded the German enigma that paved the way for the victory of Great Britain in the Second World War against Germany. Alan Turing was a computer scientist. We are computer scientists. We are biologists. We are physicists. We are basketball players. We are pole dancers. We are many. We can do anything. And then another one told me, but aren't gays supposed to be cowards? You guys back off from fights. Di ba, naririnig na ho natin ng madalas, pag hindi ka lumaban, dapat bakla ka. Anybody who backs off from a fight is supposed to be gay. I said, no, we're not cowards. We're courageous. We're brave. Like the Stonewall rioters in 1969 in New York, trans women, queer, young people, drag queens, LGBT people who fought valiantly, fearlessly, the cruel, brutal, violent police of New York. We are courageous. We're brave. We're not cowards. And then somebody said, But boy, aren't gays supposed to be half men and half women? And you're supposed to be trapped in somebody else's body. I said, no, we're not half-half. We're whole. And we're not trapped in somebody else's island. For you to know, you have to be me. But since you cannot, let me tell you that we are not half. We're whole. And then someone said, after I asked, why can't we have a gay president? Isn't homosexuality supposed to be a disease? A disease. I said, no. Di ba naririnig ho natin, oh, ayan, sama ka ng sama sa mga kababaihan. Hindi magtatagal, magiging bakla ka. Ayan yung anak mo, pinasama mo sa mga bakla, naging bakla tuloy. Some time ago, a father doused boiling water on his sleeping son in exasperation because he could not cure the homosexuality of his sleeping son. Some parents actually allow their young lesbian daughters to be raped because they believe that rape can cure lesbianism. In 1973, homosexuality has been stricken out from the Diagnostics and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. We are not an ailment. We're not a disease. So I called another friend and I said, why can't we have a gay president? And my friend said, because gays are supposed to be promiscuous. They salivate at the sight of flesh. They're predators. They prey on young boys. I said, excuse me? Some gays are promiscuous. Some women are promiscuous. Some men are promiscuous. Promiscuity is not a gay monopoly. And then, even beauty queens drink. And then somebody said, but isn't homosexuality a curse? I said, no, we're a blessing. Before my mother, before Nanay was debilitated by mild dementia, she used to tell me, Anak, you're a blessing to me. And if Nanay were strong enough, she would be here today, standing beside me. And she will tell you, my son is a blessing, he's not a curse. If only mothers and fathers of LGBT people can be here today, they will stand up for us and they will say, we are a blessing and we're not a curse. And then somebody said, isn't homosexuality a sin? Don't you commit a sin when you express your homosexual love? I said, I'm sorry. As far as I know, I'm not a sin. I'm a child of God, and I was also created in the image of God. Why can't we have a gay president? Because in 2010, the Commission on Elections ruled that gay people promote immorality, abnormality, and are a threat to the youth. In the same year, the Supreme Court reversed this decision, this homophobic, barbaric decision. Why can't we have a gay president? Why can't we have a gay president? Let me borrow some words from the great Martin Luther King. Because sadly, we are still crippled by the manacles of homophobia, transphobia, discrimination, bigotry. Why can't we have a gay president? Because some people believe and some people preach that we are creatures lower than animals. Let me tell you, we are not creatures lower than animals. We are human beings. So today on TEDx, I ask you, why can't we have a gay president? Why can't we have a gay president when the Constitution allows it? The Philippine Constitution allows it. Natural-born Filipino, registered voter, can read and write, 40 years of age, 10-year resident. It doesn't say there that you have to be a straight man or a straight woman to be president of this country. In my opinion, we are living in the new age of enlightenment. This is the best time for exploration. This is the best time for discovery, observation, and provocation. This is also the best time to challenge prejudicial, discriminatory, cultural common beliefs. This is also the best time to correct the wrongdoings of colonialism. This is also the best time to ask, why can't we have a gay president? Belgium had a gay prime minister, Ilju de Rupo. Iceland had a lesbian prime minister, Joanna Siguro Ardartir. My argument is, if Iceland and Belgium had gay prime ministers, I ask you, why can't we have a gay president? Let's go to the black slavery movement. Yes, there was a certain part in our history as human beings when blacks were treated like beasts. They were animals. They were invisible. To be black was to be a sin. They were marketed, they were sold in town plazas and marketplaces. They were bartered, they were given as gifts. But the black slavery movement, the civil rights movement persevered and persisted. In 1963, in Washington, D.C., the Great March happened, where Dr. Martin Luther King delivered his I Have a Dream speech. That dream came true in 2008, 44 years later. In 2008, the United States of America elected its first black president in Barack Obama. My argument is, if blacks were treated like beasts, like animals in the past, and today the president of the most powerful country in the world is black, why can't we have a gay president? The black slavery movement inspired the women's liberation movement, the women's rights movement, the women's suffrage movement. There was a time in our story as human beings when women were nothing. They were second-class citizens. They were third-class citizens. They were invisible. They had no voices. They could not participate in public debates. They could not even walk beside their men in some cultures, because women were shadows and extensions of their men and of their fathers. Today, women's movement against violence continues. But women have become presidents and prime ministers. You have Merkel of Germany, Thatcher. Taiwan just elected its first woman president, Tsai Ing-wen. Park Geun-hye now is president of South Korea. This country has had two presidents, President Corazon Aquino and President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. My argument is, if women who were shadows, if women who were extensions of their men and fathers have become presidents and prime ministers, I ask you, why can't we have a gay president? I wanted to understand what makes a great president. I researched, and I found the most insightful, incisive discourse written by Karl Rove, policy advisor to George W. Bush. And in that discourse, he enumerated some traits of what makes a great president. What makes a great president? Clarity of vision, consistency of purpose, emotional intelligence, a healthy respect for public opinion, a great team. Nowhere in that discourse will you find that you have to be a straight man or a straight woman or LGBT to be a great president. You just have to be a human being to be a great president. Ladies and gentlemen, indulge me here a bit. Let's have a little fun. Imagine what a gay president of the Philippines would do. He would probably appoint somebody like Digong Duterte to ambassador of the Vatican. He would have a lot of fun with Pope Francis. A gay president would not be afraid to convince Archbishop Cruz to come out of retirement and head the Bureau of Customs. He will clean up that agency in less than 24 hours. Archbishop Cruz loves trouble. He loves getting into the fray. A gay president would probably create an anti-corruption department headed by the impervious, by the incorruptible women of PCIJ. A gay president would probably appoint somebody like Senator Lito Lapid as permanent representative to the United Nations, so that people may know that as a people we are quiet and we don't talk. A gay president would probably appoint somebody like Miss Universe 2015, Pia Wurzbach, ambassador to Colombia, so that people may know that we don't bear grudges. And remember, the DAP and the PDAF are natural enemies of the BADAF. Seriously now, a gay president will nurture and strengthen the Filipino family. A gay president will be a servant leader. A gay president will subscribe to the concept of politics being the art of the impossible and not the possible, Vaclav Havel, especially if the impossible is for the good of all. A gay president will prioritize the FOI, the Freedom of Information Bill, the Anti-Discrimination Bill. A gay president will not be afraid to be a great president. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some of the most passionate, some of the most driven, some of the most brilliant, intelligent, some of the most qualified, competent, some of the most inspiring, some of the most transformative leaders in the LGBT community. One of them is just waiting in the wings, waiting for his turn to be the next president of this country. One of them. In conclusion, allow me to rephrase my question. From why can't we have a gay president to can we have a gay president? Can we have a gay president? Yes, we can. Can we have a gay president? Yes, we can. Because like every woman, like every man in this theater, in this country, in this world, the presidency is our destiny. It is our birthright. Can we have a gay president? Yes, we can. Yes, we will. Yes, we must. And why do I say this with impregnable clarity? Ladies and gentlemen, two words. History and common sense. Thank you.